Hello and welcome back to another episode of Into the 99, where we've got 99 cards because Commander's number one. I am one of your hosts, Daniel. I am joined today with the gang, and then Thunder's already in here listening, but we have everyone. We've got Brian, we've got Slothy, we've got Sherman, we've got the group. The boys are back together. I can talk again. It's lovely.
Boys are back in town.
Yeah, right.
Boys are back in town.
Slothy, how was your week? Slothy? Slothy.
Sorry, what'd you say?
I said, how was your
I was
week?
listening to Brian singing.
Oh, that's fair.
It was pretty good. Busy. How about yours?
Good. Got a bone to pick with you. That movie wasn't bad. It was a good movie.
That movie was not good really at all.
I have never played the games, so from a not playing the game movie, it was pretty entertaining. We went to I went with my wife to see the Five Nights at Freddy's, like at like the adult VIP theaters. So we were sitting there drinking these big fish bowls, talking far too much in the movie, like having a
great
time.
Why it was good, because you guys were drunk.
Yeah, we're having a time. That fish bowl was bigger than my wife's head. It was a pretty fun time. The VIP theaters are really fun. They're a fun date night. So, but yeah, it was not a bad movie. It was odd at parts, but it was pretty good. I got nothing but good things to say about it. I thought it was going to suck.
The building montage totally took me out of it.
Which one? The fort building?
Fort building montage. So
Kayla, really quickly, my wife actually like loves that like series and was like in the movie like losing. She's just like it doesn't even make sense. But it was it was a good time. Sherman, how's your week?
Week's been crazy for me. So like work's just insane. Just trying to stay afloat.
Fair.
So other than that, like it is what it is. It's like holiday season's coming up. So when you're in sales, like it gets busy.
I was going to say you got to take
just one of the people with the sunny disposition on the outside, and inside you're like, I'm crashing.
I'm dying. No, I was going to say, yeah, you got to take some time, but it's kind of like me right now. This is your busiest season.
Yeah. It's like no. You have enough time to rest when you're dead, so it's pointless.
Exactly, you get it. And Brian, how are you? You were up late last night.
I'm dying. I'm so tired.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't change it for the world. I had a great time last night.
You've been up for 30-40 minutes now. You should be fully awake.
Dying.
A little behind the scenes. Yeah, you're dying. It's late night. You get it.
Yeah, no, it was a really good time. We were playing. Unfortunately, the stream didn't really work out. Damn you, internet gods.
Yeah, I've got to do some complaining.
But we were playing games with the Rogues Passage people, and the games were fun.
Yeah, those were a
definitely
good time.
Interesting, and there are a bunch of degenerates. I'm gonna just say it. Let they play some.
The problem is they kept encouraging me because Emery kept being like, "Oh yeah, like no, I think stuff like that's really funny," and I was like, "So
yeah." She's like, "I totally want to see it." And I was just like,
"So yeah, we ended up getting
with the devil here."
Yeah, we ended up getting like a 2-hour game in with one of my favorite decks. It was a really fun time. That one will be up on YouTube. It's going to be a blast. If you're on Patreon, you'll be able to see it early. It's a pretty fun game for sure. I don't get to play decks like that very often. People complain. So, yeah, that's a great spot before we even get into our deck. If you want to see
great.
Yeah, good. If you want to see our stuff early, come over on Patreon, and then you can also like hang out with us while we record as well. Here's some of the behind the scenes, me verbally abusing Slothy for his take on this movie. And with that, let's jump right into this deck. I was so excited to see this because I love a good aggressive deck. So we have Anim Pakal Thousandth Moon, which is awesome. It's Boros aggression in the best way that Boros aggression should be. We've got like a Krenko Tin Street Kingpin kind of vibe in this deck, but better, I just think. So it is a 1/1 red, 1 white for a 1/2 human soldier. Love the tribes. Love both of them. Soldiers, such a good group. I just love it. Whenever you attack with one or more non-gnome creatures, you put a 1/1 counter on Anim Pakal, then create X 1/1 colorless gnome artifacts that are tapped and attacking, where X is the number of 1/1 counters on Anim Pakal. There's a lot to unpack with that. So we don't even have to. Normally, the trade-off is I have to swing with my commander and you guys can kill my commander. But it's any non-gnome creature will trigger Anim on the attack, which is really, really cool. I can safely keep it back. That's not what I did, but you can do that pretty easily. Just even if you build this as a pseudo soldier deck, or again, you just want to build something like unblockable kind of thing. You're really, really safe in a deck like this because you don't need to risk your commander to trigger this. And also, if you've got a turn 2 drop, you can trigger this as if it has pseudo haste the first turn it's out. It's just a really, really cool just commander overall. It spits out an insane amount of tokens. The artwork's really cool. The flavor text of if we're to protect this world, we can no longer hide within it. It's so aggressive, so out of the blue. Like there's this version of it, I've been trying to deliberately not build with what people would call like the staples and stuff, right? So there's no Oger, there's no Mondrag, we don't have an Anointed Procession. I get it. It's a token deck. Those are better cards. You can definitely do that. I didn't do that. It's still too aggressive. I've got to probably tune it down a little bit. There's some instants and sorceries in here. Slothy even mentioned it's a weird one for me. But like even go ahead.
The first thing I actually noticed, all of your card slots are pretty even across the board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this is the most like even looking deck I have ever seen.
Yeah.
Most of mine are like 32 creatures, 36 creatures.
Yeah, right.
1 to 5 instances.
Literally the only like land that really matters in here. We've got a few like just like pseudo duels that are tapped, like your snow duels, all that kind of stuff. We have Rogue's Passage because our commander can get so big so fast. So it's nice to be able to blitz people with commander damage kind of thing. The rest of it's all just basic. Like none of the land section is very expensive. It's a $16 land section. Woo!
Daniel, you making me remember last night.
Yeah, Brian
Rogue's
did
Passaging a
Rogue's Passage in the Rogue's Passage.
32 Kibo.
Oh.
It was pretty big.
Ooh, let that go. Bloody. Oh, smokes.
Someone got Brady got a smothering tithe out, and then no one was paying. And Kibo just got so big so fast from it.
And I had a hardened scales.
And I was playing a Quain deck like a group hug, so I kept making everyone draw a card. That monkey got big fast. Let's jump into I don't really care which section. Which do you want to do first, Brian? What's your first section there?
I would say let's go with the one that has the most and go creatures, but I feel like your creatures might be your most important part.
No, Anim. Or it's Anim,
just your commander.
Yeah, exactly. So aggressive. We'll jump right into before actually I was gonna say, what's your guys' take on this deck? Like what direction would you have gone even before we get into it? I just want to know where you guys would build based only on the name and ability.
I'm a pretty simple man. And you know exactly how I would build it.
Yeah, Mondrak,
Tokens,
Fairy's Protection, Esper.
You go tokens.
I want to see how many gnomes I can make. And I'll be just a happy man.
I would honestly try to find a way to abuse putting 1/1 counters on Anim, because that seems like something that would be difficult to do. So, but like if you can like find a way to put like 5 or 6 on her and just attack with like a 1/1 spud somewhere and be like, yay, now I have another 5 gnomes, and you're laughing.
Right.
Yeah, I kind of do a similar thing to Sherman. Get as many +1/+1 counters on as possible.
Good. This is mostly the way I went.
Ridiculous amount of gnomes.
Yeah, so these are pretty cheap sections. Like this deck is pretty budget overall. There's a few cards you can cut to make it even more budget if you want it. Just pure aggro Boros deck. Let's jump into it. We have our first creature that isn't our commander.
I guess one other way that I would probably build it, which I have kind of been doing on Arena, is the battle, I guess politics like, hey, can I hit you for 1? And then you can buff it a little bit with the instances, or people are calling them cantrips these days.
The problem is
with Anim, like you have to have the attack and put a +1/+1 counter, right? So like with Krenko just cares about the power, but Anim actually cares about the counters.
Yeah, but when you attack with the Anim, you get the counter. Then you get your gnome.
Yeah, and then you get gnomes attacking that person. So
never mind. I see what you're talking about. Yeah.
The fun thing is you can change who those gnomes that are entering. You do get to declare. They don't have to attack that player. So you can politics and be like, Brian, let me hit you with Anim, and Slothy's going to take 80 gnomes. And you're like, but then Anim will kill me. And I'm like, I really like that this commander doesn't have to connect for the ability. It's so fun.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's jump into the creatures. We have our first is Abzan Falconer. 2 and a white for a 2/3 human soldier with Outlast, so you can put a 1/1 counter on it. Each creature you control with the 1/1 counter has flying. It's just built-in beautiful evasion for the commander.
Nice and solid.
That is such a wonderful, wonderful card.
This next one's fun. A key battle squad, 5 in a red creature, Goblin Samurai 6/6. Whenever one or more modified creatures you control attacks, untap all modified creatures you control. After the combat phase, there's an additional combat phase. This ability triggers only once each turn. That one's a fun one.
Yeah, right. It's being able to use the modified ability when we're already throwing counters on, I think is pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you blinked this and it came back in, and then you went into your second combat phase, would it trigger again?
Yep.
Yes, because
Amazing.
it count when you blink something, it counts as a different
Instance, right?
It's a
Different
new
instance.
one, yeah.
Amazing.
Next one we've got is Alabu, Ancient Witness, 3 red and a white for a 4/5 legendary artifact creature golem. Other artifact creatures you control have haste. Whenever one or more artifact creatures you control attack, Alabu deals X damage to any target, and you scry X, where X is the number of tapped artifacts you control.
That is such a broken card in here.
You're making so many artifacts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it is fun to be able to bolt things on attack.
Yeah, true.
Oh man,
The artwork's definitely interesting.
I love Alabu.
it's great. It was because it was in the Oscar Precon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys notice the face in the background?
Which ones?
Just
The
to
one
the
on
right of it, yeah. The
above
runes.
guy.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Kind of creepy.
Alabu is a very, very cool commander.
Mm-hmm.
I'll grab the next one here. We have Fathom Fleet. Blah, blah, blah. Fathom Fleet. No, I didn't. Sword Jack. 3 in a red. Creature Orc Pirate. Whenever Fathom Fleet Sword Jack attacks, it deals damage to the player or planeswalker it attacks equal to the number of artifacts you control. And then Encore for 5 and a red, and it's a 4/3.
Encore, for anyone who doesn't know, you exile it from your graveyard. For each opponent, you create a token that attacks them this turn of Able. They gain haste. Sack at the beginning of the next end step. So if you get your extra combat out and you get 3 of these, and you can start bolting for like 30 damage. It's pretty rough. I really, really like this. It's such a cool uncommon from the Commander Legends stuff.
Commander Legends was such a good set.
Yeah.
Such a good set.
Right? We have another just kind of pseudo mini win con in this one with our Hedron Detonator. It's 2 in a red for a 2/3 Goblin Artificer. Whenever an artifact enters under your control, 1 damage to target opponent, which is, again, great. We're making so many artifacts that's really, really going to go silly. And then we have tap, sack 2 artifacts, exile the top card of your library. You may play it this turn. I really, really like this ability to just throw these things away, impulse the top, because these gnomes, I don't want to say they don't matter. You know, every member of this army is important, but these gnomes are disposable.
I like the fact that you're using the gnomes as like currency in a sense, you know?
Yeah, right.
So, like, they're more than just there for attacking.
You should have had the card that I don't know why I had it in Kibo.
Which one's that?
Goblin Bombardment.
Yeah, I don't know why you had that one in there.
Yeah, I was going, like sitting there with it in my hand. I was like, I don't even know why this is here. I don't know what my plan was at the time. Gotta love it when you're just playing a game and you're like, why did I put this in here?
You lack sleep. Therefore, when you built it, it didn't make sense.
Not then. I was wide awake then.
You just didn't even know what you were doing yet. Someone want to take this next one here?
we got Hopeful Initiate. For a white human warlock has training. So training is whenever this creature attacks with another creature with greater power, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. And it's a 1/2, and it also has the ability of 2 and a white. Remove 2 1/1 counters from among creatures you control. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. This is a strong one.
It's great, yeah,
Solid.
especially when we're already always getting counters on our commander. It's wicked.
I'm definitely seeing different cards than normal, so I do appreciate your challenge here because I have this is a set that I wasn't around when it came out, and this is a cool card.
I think you were around for oh no, this was Innistrad. You definitely weren't.
Well, this one I came back.
Yeah, fair.
The next one we've got is Kelith, Sunmane Familiar. 1 and a white for a 1/1 legendary creature horse. Whenever a commander you control attacks, put +1/+1 counter on it, and it has partner.
That works so well in this.
Right, we're good.
This one here, I actually was running in one of my decks last night. Lashiel Clockwork Scholar, 2 and a white. Legendary creature, Elephant Artificer. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to attacking artifact creatures you control. Whenever 1 or more artifact creatures enter the battlefield under your control, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn.
So good.
Yeah, nothing crazy in our draw section, but we've got some pretty good white card drawing here. It's I really like the ability to not have to worry about my gnomes attacking as well.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice. We have as well in here a Mentor of the Meek because we got so many card like 1/1s coming in. 2 and a white for a 2/2 human soldier. Whenever another creature with power 2 or less enters under your control, you can pay 1. If you do, draw a card. Pretty simple. And there's no raw anthems that are going to make them like. There's nothing in here generally that's going to be like they are 5/5s on enter. So
nice. Then we got Nils, Discipline Enforcer, 2 and a white. A legendary creature, human cleric. It's a 2/2. At the beginning of your end step, for each player, put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature that player controls. Each creature with 1 or more counters on it can't attack you or planeswalkers you control unless its controller pays X, where X is the number of counters on that creature. That is
loves that card.
Fun card.
Nils is so
he
cool.
was so happy when this card came out.
I can't say enough good things about Nils. I want to build just a raw Nils deck, but it is nice because this hits every player, right? For each player, not each opponent. So I can still buff my stuff. I can keep your things away from me. I really
enjoy that built-in defensiveness, just like my area deck, which I got abused for last week.
You need more auras. You need more auras, Brian.
We'll see. It'll work out one time.
I believe
it'll
you.
work out one time, but I do see some of the points, so I will be making some adjustments. But it still played fun last night. I just still enjoyed it.
There you go. It's all love here. The YouTube comment made me laugh so hard. I just came to see Brian get verbally abused. Actually made me burst out laughing.
Yeah, he had to send it in our private chat.
Yeah, that one made me chuckle. Slothy, you want this next one here?
Take you back to elementary school.
Brian, you're loved.
The next one we've got is Orzhov Advocist, 2 and a white for a 1/4 human advisor. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player may put 2 +1/+1 counters on a creature they control. If a creature does, creatures that player controls can't attack you or planeswalkers you control until your next turn.
I forgot about this card.
It's a fun card. It's good.
It's really good.
I like that. That one's optional, but again, we're buffing our commander. A +2, awesome.
Yeah.
But unlike Nils, this just stops all of their creatures.
Yeah, but again, it's pretty. You're gonna have so many gnomes that no one will dare challenge you.
Wow! Waiting for
we just hear everyone disconnects.
Are you going to be headquartered in Nome, Alaska?
Yeah, you get it.
After that one, we got Reckless Fireweaver, 1 in a red, human artificer. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, Reckless Fireweaver deals 1 damage to each opponent.
I'm so glad he reprinted this in a few sets.
Such a good card. 69 cents. Great.
Well,
Nice.
at one point in time, this card was like $5 for a common.
If you could find it, yeah, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. It was insane.
This commons a showcase. So the one thing I am seeing, this would be within the creatures. Maybe because you didn't have them, but like I guess with the new set coming out, you could put in the Red God, so that triples non-combat damage, as well as I think it's the red not Praetor.
My
Sultan.
my thing is I'm just not doing enough non-combat damage. At the end of the day, I'm still Boros. I'm still playing with 2 brain cells. It's still mostly attacks.
Oh, isn't like Hedron Detonator whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control?
That's only 2 or 3 cards in the kind of deck.
I guess so.
Yeah, right.
But if you can get a payoff, at least. But I guess you guys always talk about look at the floor, not the ceiling.
Yes, exactly.
That's me.
I really like the next one as well too. This is a fun one. Rumor Gatherer, 1 double white for a 2/1 elf wizard. It has Alliance. Whenever another creature enters under your control, scry 1. So that's going to be awesome if we're able to scry 10. If it's the second time this ability is resolved, you also draw a card. Again, nice, fair, very, very cheap card draw and pretty aggressive scry into that card draw, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very upset at this art.
I love it. The bear.
For not including the North American house hippo.
It's true. I love the artwork with all the small animals. It's so cool.
Yeah. I would definitely want to have one of those little elephants, I'm not going to lie. Or maybe the giraffe.
Yeah, could you imagine how happy I would be if I had a bear that size just running around in the house trying to bite me, but it's all good because I love him?
Oh, all right. We have Scholar of New Horizons, 1 and a white. So it's a human scout, it's the 1/1. Scholar of New Horizons enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. You can tap it and remove a counter from a permanent you control. Search your library for a Plains card and reveal it. If an opponent controls more lands than you, you may put that card onto the battlefield tapped. If you don't put that card on the battlefield, put it in your hand instead, and then shuffle. Once again, white getting some love. I don't know when Wizards is going to stop, but at this rate, I don't think they're ever going to stop.
Again, we've got, even in our creature section, a pretty hardy draw package in our white cards. Hardier than white should have access to when I'm able to create so many tokens.
The final creature we've got here is Welcoming Vampire, 2 and a white for a 2/3 vampire with flying. Whenever one or more creatures with power 2 or less enter the battlefield under your control, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn.
I need one of these.
Like I said,
another card I'm really happy they reprinted.
Oh, I know. Trying to find them was nuts.
Mm-hmm. There are 2 cards that I think will go really well into this creature section.
Okay.
Cyberman Squadron.
Love that card, yeah.
And Cyberman Patrol.
That's the all cards. The Squadron is artifacts have afflict 4, right?
The Patrol is afflict 3.
Afflict 3, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Try and block
Squadron
this.
is Myriad.
Artifact creatures have Myriad?
Yeah, non-legendary artifact creatures all have Myriad.
Could you imagine how many gnomes? That's brutal.
Such a broken card.
So good.
Yeah. I attack with
Doctor
50 gnomes
strong.
to everyone.
Yeah.
The Doctor Who set was pretty wild. I saw the other day, I was just at Walmart. Like I was buying, doing a quick run. I was getting a new curtain rod. And I saw somebody picking up the last one. But they had the, the Daleks deck?
Yep.
Someone was grabbing it for like $90.
Oh, yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah, right? Like it's like, I was there with Connor, like my brother, and he's just like, hey, if that guy puts that back, get that. I was like, why? He's like, that's way more than $90 right now. He's like, just get it to resell it if you can.
Yeah,
It's
that deck is so fun.
it's kind of so weird how like the big stores can just be so oblivious to an actual price and like not care. They don't care at all. They got it their cost, there's their markup. Like they don't care how it sells or
I thought they had to keep it at a certain price based on the contract that they had with Wizards.
no idea, but I know that $90 for a fairly sold out because it was I think that one and the Timey Wimey are the two that are just like always gone right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those are the two that I pre-ordered.
Yeah, I was gonna say seeing Slothy's deck play like yours was a raw precon, right?
Yeah.
And it really, really went off.
Well.
Yeah, the Villainous Choice was such a cool mechanic. Those are very, very good creatures. Like that would hurt dearly.
Mm-hmm.
I wish, Brian, that this had green so I could put Shalai and Halar in it. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that'd be good. What section do you got next here, Brian?
Let's go with the instance. Or actually, you got one planeswalker.
Oh, please take it away.
We have Basri Ket, 1 and 2 white, legendary planeswalker Basri. +1, put a +1/+1 counter on up to one target creature. It gains indestructible until end of turn. -2, whenever one or more non-token creatures attack this turn, create that many 1/1 white soldier creature tokens that are tapped and attacking.
Yeah.
-6, you get an emblem with, at the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token, then put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control, and he enters with 3.
Every part of this commander, or every part of this planeswalker is good in this deck.
Mm-hmm.
Like that minus is really good. Making our commander indestructible and buffing its ability is just like a gift from the heavens. And then that emblem's crazy.
And for this planeswalker, it's really cheap.
Yeah, right. Again, a $1.29 planeswalker at 3 mana. You love to see it.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's I'm a pretty big fan of that one. You wanted to do instance next, or let's do artifacts, Brian. Let's
Sure.
we've got some pretty simple ramp. So the one of the first one's not a ramp card, but our commander gets so big, and you can see from Basri's ability that these gnomes can get a little out of hand. And I like to try right now add an extra win con in because sometimes people pillow fort too hard, you can't get through. So we've got an Ultra Dementia. We've got a lot of creatures we can throw at this. Just the ability, sack a creature, target player puts a number of cards equal to the sacked creature's power from the top into their graveyard. Again, our commander sometimes is going to be big enough to just finish someone off this way.
Fantastic.
Brian asked me if I had one of these, probably for his Gave deck, but this is where this last one went, Brian. Oh, not for Gave? For Bernard, yeah.
Bernard.
Those were cool decks. I'd love to do a Bernard deck tech soon.
Yeah, once I gotta get him worked out a little bit.
Okay, we got an Arcane Signet. So for 2 mana, add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity.
Yeah. Then we got Boros Cluestone, 3 colorless. Tap, add a red and a white to your mana pool. You can tap a red and a white and tap it to sacrifice the Cluestone and draw a card.
Not bad.
Then we've got the Locket. 3 mana, tap for red or white. Hybrid Boros 4 times and tap it to sacrifice and draw 2 cards.
Pretty good ramp and draw, right?
Yeah.
Then we've got a simple Boros Signet, 2 mana, tap 1, and then tap it to add 1 red, 1 white. Again, we're not in great ramping colors, so we're doing the best we can. Our commander's not expensive, but it's going to be a problem.
People are targeting it.
Yeah, people are going to destroy it. You're going to need to get it out. I promise this isn't going to sit on the field. Literally, it's so annoying that I, for once, actually put boots in a deck, and I never put boots in a deck. I think you'll like this next one, Sherman, please.
Oh yeah. I was excited for this one. Okay, so Dragon Spark Reactor. Okay, this is something that you don't see often. All right, that's why I'm already excited. So 1 in a red artifact. This is from the Kamigawa set, the new one. Whenever Dragon Spark Reactor or another artifact enters the battlefield under your control, put a charge counter on Dragon Spark Reactor. Now, here's the kicker. For 4 mana, you sacrifice the Dragon Spark Reactor. It deals damage equal to the number of charge counters on it to target player, and that much damage to up to 1 target creature. So you can separate them. Okay, one goes to someone's face and one goes to someone's creature.
Land War.
But yeah, it's such a fun card.
I bolt the bird for 1,000.
As it should.
Yeah, Dragon Spark Reactor is such an interesting one. I really like I like how much the whenever artifact things in this deck. I really enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have a good old Felwar Stone, 2 colorless. Then tap it to add 1 mana to your mana pool. This mana may be only that your lands produce.
Land an
There
opponent,
was
yeah.
something funky about it.
Then we've got Lux Artillery, 4 mana. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, it gains Sunburst. So that's battlefield plus counter on it for each color of mana spent to cast it. At the beginning of your end step, if there are 30 or more counters among artifacts and creatures you control, Lux Artillery deals 10 damage to each opponent.
That's broken.
I like that one.
That's solid.
Yeah, again,
That's
another way to get through can't be targeted stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We just kapow.
Mm-hmm.
Bonk.
We've got this Mind Stone. I love the new artwork of the Mind Stones. 2 mana, you tap for a colorless or pay 1, tap, sack it, draw a card.
Nice. And then we got your regular standard Soul Ring.
And then we got some Swiftfoot boots, like Daniel mentioned. The first decks to actually have it.
Yeah, you can't have Shroud. You gotta put counters on your creatures.
You want to finish it off with your card, Dan?
Yeah, we've got the most expensive artifact in the deck, and almost 1/4 of the deck's price alone is the Ozolith. Because come on, I say I'm not putting in Anointed Possession, but come on, you gotta have an Ozolith. 1 mana, whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield, if it had counters on it, put them on the Ozolith. Beginning of combat on your turn, if the Ozolith has counters on it, you can move all counters from it onto target creature. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any extras?
I don't have any extras. I love
might
Ozolith.
have an extra if you really, really, really need one. I think I have 3 copies.
I know I have extras.
Give me them. No, yeah, the Ozolith again, like it's when our commander's generating 1/1, that's kind of like it's a staple, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the only Brian was playing Gave yesterday. Gave, you're trying to take your 1/1 counters away, so that doesn't matter as much, right? But for your general, like your Animars, your anythings like that, you gotta run Ozolith.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a budget include, but it's a good one. I think it's probably the most expensive card in the whole deck. Let's go.
I think so. I was going through your
Yeah.
deck, and I think it is the most expensive.
Yeah. Do you want to do which one next? Which
Ooh,
one?
enchantments. Let's do enchantments. Enchantments.
Okay, Sherman. Yeah, please take it away. This is your one too.
Enchantments.
Sorry, because I love this card. It's so strong. It's so much fun. It's great in this deck. Okay, so he had to put in all will be 1, 3 red. Whenever you put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, all will be 1 deals that much damage to target opponent, creatures an opponent controls, or planeswalkers an opponent controls. I love this card. It's so strong. It's so stupid.
The fact it can't be turned against you too is just wild.
Yeah.
It's just all
Invasion.
gasoline.
I love the flavor text of this card too. It's so good. The invasion tree broke through the blind eternities and sent Phyrexian perfection coursing across the multiverse.
That was such a good storyline,
Mm-hmm.
I have to say. So,
Sloth, do you want this next one here?
Sure. Next one we've got is Breath of Fury. 2 double red for an aura. Enchant creature you control. When an enchanted creature deals combat damage to a player, sacrifice it and attach Breath of Fury to a creature you control. If you do, untap all creatures you control, and after this phase, there's an additional combat phase.
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
We've got so many creatures we can throw away, right? And we just need them to get through a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because you
This card is
put
funny.
on a gnome. You put it on a gnome, you attack, You have another non-gnome that's making more gnomes. You keep on doing that. You get like almost like not quite infinite, but almost infinite.
A nice way to
stats.
politics too. It's okay, Brian. I want to get a few attacks off. Let me hit you with the gnome that has Breath of Fury, and that's it. And I'll throw them elsewhere, and you could be like, okay, sure. So Brian takes 4 damage, and I swing Anim 4 times. Okay.
You would want me to kill it, right? Oh no, just has to sacrifice. Never mind.
Yeah, you just gotta. It has to deal combat damage. It must bonk.
Gotcha.
Very hard to get that bonk through with the next card. Brian, please.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I pulled this one out yesterday, and then I got confused and just stopped caring.
Too much math.
We have Cathar's Crusade, 3 and 2 white enchantment. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control.
Yeah, that's
when you
that's
have
rough.
Gave out and you're moving +1/+1 counters to make Saprolings, where you're doubling them, and then it's just dumb. And then Daniel plays Solidarity or whatever, Solemnity.
Yeah, it was an interesting game. Cathar's Crusade again. Even if you've only got like 3 counters on your commander, 3 more are going to enter on the attack trigger, buffing everything +3. Like it gets pretty out of control so fast. Buffing that commander up. I that's why I was looking at Sherman when he was saying I would have gone counters. I was like, yes, this is the right way.
This is the way.
Yeah, we have another great card, Fanatical Devotion. It's 2 and a white. It's like a $1 card. You sack a creature, regenerate target creature. We have many creatures that don't matter to keep our exile is going to be a problem for sure. But just being able to throw these things away. And it's very nice politics-wise because it's regenerate target creature. I can say like, okay, Brian, I need to swing this big card at you, but don't worry. Like if you block my creature, it's fine. I don't have trample. I'll just regen your creature. You can politics with this. It's any creature, not just mine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go and grab this because that's fantastic.
I love it. Well, especially Bernard and Gave, right? Both of them are great sack outlets. You've got so many tokens with Gave.
Mm-hmm.
So true.
Jihave.
Then we got Felidar Retreat, 3 and a white, has landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, choose 1. So you can either create a 2/2 white cat beast creature token, yay, but we want to put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Those creatures gain vigilance until end of turn. Dope.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah. Oh goodness, that is difficult to read.
I can read that one if you want.
Got Martyr's Cause, 2 and a white. Sacrifice a creature, prevent all damage to a creature or player from one source.
That's hilarious. I have
Dying
not
is a
seen this
soldier's talent. Woof.
Yeah.
At least he's getting carried off by the Valkyrie there.
All damage from one source for one of my 1/1 gnomes. I'll take that trade. I'll take that trade all day. Right?
That is such a good card.
It's a fun one. Brian, you want the next one?
Sure can. We have Noble Heritage, 1 and a white, legendary enchantment background. Commander creatures you own have. When this creature enters the battlefield and at the beginning of your upkeep, each player may put 2 +1/+1 counters on a creature they control. For each opponent who does, you gain protection from that player until end of turn. Gross.
It's pretty cool. Again,
death sentence.
It's nice that we can buff it. This is one of the you saw when we were playing my skip my turns deck. I took a few. I had taken a few cards out. I took that card out of the skip my turns deck for this one because so many people take it in my not threatening skip the turn deck, and then I skip like 50 turns, and you can't damage me. I have protection from you on those turns.
Yeah, but I just see like accepting this in this kind of a deck or with this commander just seems like it could be a death sentence. That's something like later on.
It gets a little silly. Mm-hmm. We also have Resourceful Defense. I really liked this card. 2 and a white. It's our pseudo Ozolith. Whenever a permanent you control leaves, if it had counters on it, put those counters on target permanent you control, which is awesome. We can just move them where it needs to, even just to something else. It's kind of fun because it's target permanent, so I can put my 1/1 counters on Resourceful Defense. 4 and a white, move any number of counters from target permanent you control to another target permanent you control. So being able to shuffle so many 1/1 counters around, pseudo buff my creature up, it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
It's
move
funny.
counters from the non-blocked or the blocked creature onto the unblocked creature.
Yep.
Well, what's fun about this is like, let's say like Wizard Commander, you have like 5 counters on it. And it's like it dies. Okay, let's put it on a Terramorphic Expanse or Evolving Wilds. Then you get your commander out. All right, let's sack the Evolving Wilds, get a land. Oh wait, those counters were on a permanent I control. Let's put it back onto the commander.
It's a great way to do it too. You can also we've got so many sack outlets, right? We've got our altar, we have our Martyr's Cause, any of those things. So yeah, exactly like you were saying, you can. I never would have put them on a land. That's a really fun way to use it because no one's running land destruction. So yeah, I put 30 counters on a Terramorphic Expanse. I like it.
Just another way to use them.
I really, really like that way. Putting them onto a fetch land or something is super, super fun.
Yeah. Okay, we got Sigarda's Summons. 4 white. Creatures you control with +1/+1 counters on them have base power and toughness 4/4, have flying, and are angels in addition to their other types. Fun card.
Angel Gnome. Angel Gnome.
Amazing.
I really like that card. It's pretty silly.
Mm-hmm.
The base power toughness 4/4 is rough.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because any 1/1 counter, we're looking at 5/5 flying angels now. Flying angel gnomes. Yeah, Brian, draw those.
Yeah.
Woof.
The next one we've got here is Sparring Regimen, 2 and a white. When it enters the battlefield, learn. And whenever you attack, put a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature and untap it.
Again,
Ooh,
nice.
That one's a good card too.
I
Yeah,
like that.
I like this pseudo bombardment we get with Street Urchin. 1 and a red. Commander creatures you own have sack another artifact or creature. 1 damage to any target. I like that. Goblin Bombardment's probably a better place for it, but I just like the backgrounds.
Backgrounds are so good.
Yeah, right. Like it's again, I do think a Goblin Bombardment just beats this in the slot with not having
Same
to. But
CMC, but you don't have to pay to.
yeah,
kill
right.
it.
But I really, really like turning artifacts into artilleries too. It's fun to end the game by being like, I sack my soul ring to kill Brian.
You could also have impact tremors because whenever you create your gnomes as well,
Oh,
they
yeah.
enter the battlefield.
That Perforos, Terror of the Peaks, any of those. Warstorm Surge, like we saw the other day. I don't know why I thought Warstorm Surge was only to target player, but it's any target. Warstorm Surge is pretty silly. Yeah, there's
just because of the high mana cost. That's the only hard thing about that one.
Yeah, right. Like it's obviously I think that Goblin Bombardment is just a raw upgrade to this, but I've got a soft spot for these backgrounds.
I'm gonna call dibs on the last one here in this set.
All right, I'll get the next one here. So, Tokasia's Welcome, 2 and a white. Whenever 1 or more creatures with mana value 3 or less enter the battlefield under your control, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. Once again, you have gnomes coming in. You're getting at least 1 card.
Yeah, nice fair card draw. We got no problems with it.
And to round out the enchantment section here, we have the new Virtue of Loyalty, 3 and 2 white. So we can cast it for its instant, which is Arden Vale Fealty, 1 and a white. You create a 2/2 white knight creature token with vigilance. Or you get the enchantment for the 3 and the 2 white. At the beginning of your end step, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Untap those creatures.
Fun.
This is really solid.
It's a good card. They never should have printed this card. What are we talking about?
That's fair.
It's-
Fair magic.
Again, just the ability to flash in a 2/2 knight is pretty good. It's a pretty good instant. And then that untap and like massive counter theme is disgusting. It's gross.
There's a reason why
you could pay the 2, flash it in, and then instantly pay the 5 as well after to put the enchantment in.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
It's nice too because you can, if you're playing against like your like typical like Thoughtseize kind of cards that are going to make you discard, or like you could just be like, I will 2 mana make a 2/2 knight, I guess, and now it just sits in a nice untouchable zone until I'm ready for it. I really, really like all the virtues. They're so cool.
Yeah.
What section next here?
We have instants and sorceries. Pick one, guys.
Oh, we're
That's
usually this is a 2-minute section for me. I'm so excited. Let's do sorceries
said,
first.
this is the most-
Interaction.
This is the most even deck that I've seen. Like 16, 12, 13, 13, 13, and then the land's 33.
Let's do our sorcery, and then, because sorcery's slower than instant, we'll end with instant. The sorcery section's so cheap. It's dirt cheap. I love it. Nice $32 section. You can't go wrong. Slothy, you want to start us off?
Sure. We've got Angel Fire Ignition, 1 red and a white. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. It gains Vigilance, Trample, Lifelink, Indestructible, and Haste until end of turn. And it has flashback for 2 red and white.
That's rough. That's pretty crazy.
That's a lot.
I wish this
That's
was
a
an
lot.
instant. Yeah. That's a lot of keywords.
Throw in some end the turn stuff.
Yeah, right.
No, don't even talk about that.
I love Brian's got PTS Daniel as we decided last night. I really like my Angel is the Flint and I am her Steel. This is an aggressive card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was looking at that. I was reading that flavor text too. I was like, woof.
Brian, next card, please.
But I'm gonna have to be honest. This artwork is weird because the stork, but the feet look like hooves.
I love Ram Carlos. That's who that is. Ram's such a cool card. It's such a fun deck to play.
Alrighty then. So we got Basri Solidarity, 1 and a white. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. I like that actually.
Pretty good 2 mana.
Yeah.
We've got our Collective Effort. 1 double white. It has Escalate because we like to escalate problems. You tap an untap creature you control to escalate. Choose 1 or more. Destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. Wonderful removal. We have a destroy target enchantment and put a 1/1 counter on each creature target player controls. Every one of these we're going to be able to trigger in this deck, and every one of them is going to be great for us. That's just a nice double removal and a 1/1 counter anthem at 3 mana. I just can't say enough good things.
Mm-hmm. 3 mana, tap 2 gnomes.
Yeah, right?
So good.
It's great. I wish you could just endlessly tap, but sadly there's only 3 options to make.
Yeah.
Unless we copy it somehow, and then let's not go there. Okay, we have Explosive Entry, 1 in a red. Destroy up to 1 target artifact. Put a 1/1 counter on up to 1 target creature. Solid.
Yeah.
Our removal's on theme.
I like this, and I really like this card actually. That is nice removal.
Then we've got Inspiring Roar, 3 in a white. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control.
I like that one. Not as good as Basri's, but the next one is specifically from playing with Brian. I got PTSB, PTS Brian. Brian, take it away, please.
Using the joke from last night on you.
I love it. Yeah.
Paracelene?
Paraceline, yeah.
Yeah, we got 2 and a white. Sorcery, destroy all enchantments. You gain 1 life for each enchantment destroyed this way. I don't like it. I think this card should be banned.
I don't know if I've seen this card before. I absolutely love that artwork.
It's beautiful.
That's
the
so
artwork's
nice.
beautiful, but the words should be removed.
Brian, but read the flavor text. You'll like it.
Moonlight has a way of showing all things as they truly are, for better or for worse.
That's a really nice card. I wish I could find a foil of this one. It's just beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
That art foil would probably be amazing.
Would it make you feel better about losing all your enchantments? No. It's I've been.
I'm gonna buy every version of this and have a giant bonfire.
That's funny.
I'll make the price skyrocket.
There's so many. Again, at a 35-cent card, we've got some great enchantments in this deck. If I dare say so myself. but there's just sometimes you cannot get through enchantments. You get players, and I'm one of the players, I was doing it yesterday, who are running things like a privileged position, like a greater oromancy, any of those kind of things where even if you're holding that removal, you can't touch them, right? Like they're stacked out of it. You can't, sometimes you've just got to wipe the board, and I can't merciless eviction in these colors.
Womp
Womp. I've been putting a lot of these destroy all enchantments in there. I think they've actually saved me a ton of times. Like they're such a good, and they're such an aggressive card. No one sees that coming because no one plays this, because what animal does this? Yeah, I love this one.
I don't know why I'm here anymore.
We also have this Regna Sanction, another card that I just love. I love Kraven Regna. 3 and a white. For each player, choose friend or foe. Each friend puts a 1/1 counter on each creature they control. We love it. And each foe chooses one untapped creature they control and taps the rest. That's pretty.
I'm the friend, all you foes over there.
That's pretty rough. Yeah, that's a game ender.
And then we have Relentless Assault. I love it. 2 red. Untap all creatures that attack this turn after this main phase. There's an additional combat phase followed by an additional main phase. Classic.
Love it. You love to see it.
Yep.
Mercy's for the playground, not the battleground. Daniel.
Then we've got Seize the Day, 3 and a red. Untap target creature. After this main phase, there's an additional combat phase, followed by an additional main phase, and it has flashback for 2 and a red.
Am I missing this card?
Yeah, it should be right there. Seize the Day right after Relentless Assault.
I got round 2.
Oh, I definitely don't have round 2.
Oh, that is. It's sorry. It's a print.
Okay.
We switch the.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Seize the Day.
That's the Fortnite one, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay. We do a little extra combats every now and then. We like to take an extra combat as a treat.
We dabble.
Yeah. Brian, the next one, please.
Silver Flame Ritual. 3 and a white. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Adamant. If at least 3 white mana was spent to cast the spell, creatures you control gain vigilance until end of turn. This is lovely.
I like it. Then we get a little silly with some waves of aggression. 3 hybrid Boros. Untap all creatures that attack this turn. After this main phase, there's an additional combat phase followed by an additional main phase. With Retrace, you can play this card from your graveyard by discarding a land in addition to paying its other costs. I don't see anything there that says exile it when I'm done. I don't see anything there at all. I just see something that says throw my lands away. I can do that.
Yeah.
True.
Wow, it's a $24 card now.
It's
21.
Yeah. This is it. We've got a quarter of the deck in Waves of Aggression and Ozolith. We could just simply put in 2 more lands, but we won't.
Man, that's insane.
These faces are terrible. Only a face a mother could love.
Brian, that's
They're
the
aggressive.
artwork of me.
They're handsome fellows. What do you mean?
That's us, Brian. That's
Literally us.
that's us, and the tall one in the back is Kalen. That's funny.
All right, the short one in the back.
Yeah, Sherman, you want to take our last sorcery?
Yeah. World at War, 3 red. At the first pre-combat main phase this turn, there's an additional combat phase followed by an additional main phase. At the beginning of that combat, untap all creatures that attack this turn, and you also have Rebound on this. So Rebound, if you cast a spell from your hand, exile it as it resolves. At the beginning of your next upkeep, you may cast this card from exile without paying its mana cost. Rebound's such a strong ability.
It's really nice that we get our extra main phase, because generally speaking, the way to deal with someone extra combating like this is to just remove the creature they're trying to extra combat for. But our commander doesn't have to be the one to attack to trigger, which is so aggressive and mean. So, you know what I mean? You can kill my commander. Okay, I'll just recast it. That's fine. And then I'll attack with something like the Abzan Falconer, and we just still get our creatures. I really, really like its ability to, it's not dependent on our get through. and it's not dependent on it attacking. I really like the commander's unique ability in that sense.
That Abzan Valkener and the built-in evasion's so nice.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And now we have our instant section at $14. Yes. I love it. Was that the sorcery section's 32 and waves of aggression is 24 of it?
Yeah.
Wow. Let's go.
He was mentioning he was proud of that.
I play on a little budget every now and then.
My $13 sorcery section.
Yeah. Who wants to start our sorceries off?
I'll take this one. I enjoyed this card. This is when I really first started playing. Akroma's Blessing, 2 and a white. Creatures you control gain protection from the color of your choice until end of turn and has cycling for a plains. Don't need it anymore? Pitch.
I like it. You want this, Slavia?
Sure. We've got Angelic Intervention, 1 and a white. Target creature or planeswalker you control gains protection from colorless or from the color of your choice until end of turn. If it's a creature, put a +1/+1 counter on it.
Nice.
I was going through my cards, and I don't think I really got any of those in my boxes. Unless Daniel already picked them through.
No. I this one wasn't in a lot, but it's a really cool card. I really like that protection. Again, a nice way to get through with our commander to end the game out or save it, also buffing it. It's nice.
Or whichever creature you just got to get in.
Yeah, right? I really, really enjoy the next one too, this Break Ties. So it's such good utility. It's 2 and a white. We choose one. We destroy target artifact, destroy target enchantment, exile a card from graveyard, or it has reinforce 1. Pay a white, discard it, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. It is every part of what we like in this deck.
Exactly what you want to do.
Then we got your classic Disenchant, 1 and a white. Destroy target artifact or enchantment.
Blam. Love Disenchant.
What have you done with our Daniel? Why is there so much interaction in these decks now?
What are you talking about?
None of it's good interaction.
You haven't been around Sherman.
Yeah.
What are you doing with Daniel?
You guys always, every time something goes wrong, you guys always look at me and like bring out an answer, and I literally have to go through half my deck.
I don't solve problems. I am a problem.
That is the problem. The only problem with Dan is that he's like, trust me, Sherman. And I'm like, all right, I'll trust you. Just do it.
We have a trust me jar where I just have to put $1 in every time.
Mistake.
Yeah, here, please sign this contract. Why? Just trust me. All right.
Every time Daniel says that, I trust him and I benefit at the same time. So if anyone plays against Daniel, if he says trust me, just trust him.
They're certified good deals. You got to believe me.
Yeah. Brian, on the other hand,
you guys suck.
That's fun. Brian, take this next one.
We got Faith's Shield, 1 white. Target permanent you control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. Fateful Hour. If you have 5 or less life instead, you and each permanent you control gain protection from the color of your choice until end of turn.
I'm a
Not
fan.
bad. Look at those vampires in that shield.
Yeah. Then we've got Feet of Resistance, 1 and a white. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn.
A lot of protection-based interaction in this one. I like it. This is a fun one, too. We have this Feedback Bolt. 4 in red. It deals damage to target player equal to the number of artifacts we control, which is generally a lot. Generally, it's going to hurt.
and then we have Light of Hope for a
Just
white.
1 second here. The flavor text on that Feedback Bolt is funny. The path of least resistance is often through your enemies.
It's true.
That's how I play.
Yep.
Hey, if brute force doesn't solve your problem, you're not using enough.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so we got Light of Hope for a white. Okay, choose one. You gain 4 life, destroy target enchantment, or put a +1/+1 counter on target creature.
I love
I
the
don't remember
options.
this one for my Korea either. Wow.
I don't think this one is Ikoria, is it?
Yeah, this
It
was
is,
Ikoria originally.
True.
Yeah, the
great.
copy you have here is for Jumpstart.
Yeah.
So
Ooh, Sherman, take the next one too, please.
all right. So we got Rebuff the Wicked for a white. Counter target spell that targets a permanent you control. I love the fact that you threw this in. I love it.
A counter spell in white mana. You gotta have it.
Yeah, because everyone's like, oh, like counter spells in white, like it's going to be lapse of certainty. No, there's other counter spells. They're just very, very specific. You have Rebuff the Wicked. You have Dawn Charm. You have Tithe. You have like, what was it? Illumination. It's like white counter target artifact or enchantment spell. I think I can't remember. I have to look that one up. But like there's quite a few.
With how popular like spot removal and single card removal is, it's amazing that this isn't a more popular card. Rebuff the Wicked is just so good, and I really should start putting it in more decks because it's just it's so hard to threat assess because you never see it pop up, right?
I just noticed the price, and I'm shocked.
Up to $4 already. Yeah, I know.
Because when I had my copies, like I have a playset when I was playing around and everything, and I bought them for like 25 cents each.
It's in a lot too. Like it was Times Power Remaster. It's been a list card. Like
holy smokes.
Yeah, right. But it's pretty silly.
Well, I'm not gonna get rid of them. I'm gonna keep them all because I do use them.
I'll take this next one too. Here we've got this Return to Dust, 2 double white. Exile target artifact or enchantment. If you cast it during your main phase, you exile up to one other target artifact or enchantment. I like it as removal a lot. It's good.
I like the art for this one.
Yeah, right. I love these new ones.
Mm-hmm.
I also like the flavor text, Brian. Sorry, the flavor text. Some timelines forever fray, branch, and intermingle. Others end abruptly. Shablam.
Yeah. I was reading that too, so I'm happy that great minds think alike.
The next card, the one Brian's about to take, is what Brian takes when he brings a deck tech.
Yeah. Savage Beating. 3 and 2 red instant. Cast the spell only during your turn and only during combat. Choose one. Creatures you control gain double strike until end of turn. Untap all creatures you control. After this phase, there is an additional combat phase and entwine for 1 and a red.
Ouch.
I like it.
Yeah, it's not a good time.
It is a Savage Beating card. I love this card.
Then we've got Take Up the Shield. 1 and a white. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. It gains lifelink and indestructible until end of turn.
You are all a part of my pride. As long as I live, I will protect you.
I like the art on this one a lot too.
That's exactly what I say when I find a random cat on the road in the middle of the night that starts following me.
Smelly cat or a regular cat?
You're coming home with me.
Both.
I don't know. I ran away from a smelly cat once. I was like chasing me, like, no.
They can be
My
washed.
friend's joke.
True. And then our last one that we have on this list is Unbounded Potential. 1 and a white, you choose one. Put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures, which is lovely. It's a great ability.
Mm-hmm.
Or we have Proliferate, which is also great in our deck full of everything. And then it entwines for 3 and a white. I really like that ability to worst case. We buff 2 creatures, including our commander. And best case, we go silly and make our board huge. I love the artwork on this too. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's
I'm assuming it's the past and the future.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like it's just I like it. It's the floor and the ceiling literally right there. We got a little baby child, we got Pegasus riding Valkyrie. Sweet baby angels all around. Yeah, Brian, give me your thoughts on this one, please. I gave you mine on your last deck.
Well, Daniel, I have probably nothing. I like how you went through it, and you know what? Kind of like I said with the cantrips, you have a lot of instances that put the counters on, and so like I could see it still being used as kind of like combat shenanigans. Like I go in and then, I'll put a +1/+1 counter on all my creatures. Because I might not make those deals, but I might try to go in and cause some anger.
True.
And then get a Savage Beating.
Sherman, any thoughts? I think this is kind of the direction
It-
you would have gone.
It is definitely a fun deck. We have a lot of extra combats. I generally don't do extra combats, but like I
Yeah.
do appreciate the fact that you did quite a bit. This is, I have to say, this is very different from what you typically do for a build. In all honesty, because like you have a lot of interaction. Like as everyone like is looking at this deck, it's just like, Daniel, you made this? What?
Yeah, what has he done with
I
our
told
Daniel?
you I was sick last week.
It was a fever. The fever got to me.
The fever got to my brain.
And I had this dream.
Yeah, really, it's ever since you had COVID, Daniel's been adding an interaction into his decks.
It was revealed to me in a dream.
COVID makes better Magic players.
Wow.
Do
Wow.
not follow this advice, please. Raw to listeners.
That's good.
But no, overall, like I like it. I like it a lot. Like you definitely went in a fun direction. In my opinion, you definitely did. You're giving opportunities to other players. It can be political, which is really, really nice. Okay, and you're still protecting your stuff. So like you're like basically hitting on the boxes on the checklist of like what
Without
would make.
staples.
Sorry.
Without the normal staples too.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like sure, we have like like a handful of staples, but that's not what makes this deck fun and interactive. Okay, what makes it fun and interactive is that you have like 5 staples. Okay, and we say this constantly. Like if you're building a deck, you kind of get sick and tired of building like, okay, I'm going to throw in my regular ramp package. I'm going to throw in my regular removal package. Okay, by the time you're done throwing in all the staples, that's like 60 cards. And you have like, maybe 40 or 30 cards left to basically build the deck. But Daniel went in a direction where it's like, okay, there's like 5 staples. And, like everything else is like, hey, have you ever seen this card? No. Well, now you'll have some more ideas. So it's a fun deck. That's my honest opinion. It is going to be a very, very, very fun deck to play and to play against because there's a lot of politics.
Slothy, any criticisms?
No, I really like this deck. I kind of went in the same direction that I would go as well. Had those 2 suggestions, but the way it is, it's super fun, and I'm excited to play against it.
Those are pretty silly cards. Yeah, the afflict would just be insane. Like, okay, try block if you want.
You can either take 1 or 3.
Yeah, I got a Cathar's Crusade out. It's take 7 or take 21. Yeah, it's a rough one. I really like. I'm glad you guys liked this one. It was really, really fun to put together, and I get to play with a lot of cards from the collection I don't normally see. Right, like I said, I rebuffed the Wicked. I had a lot of fun. I really like the. Generally speaking, like we've mentioned, I don't play instants and sorceries really. I just am a problem. That's who I am, and I really, really like how much choice is available in a lot of these things, like your break ties, for instance. Right, I really like that much utility in my section when I can have it. Like if it's going to take up a section that I would normally put something more aggressive in, I like it to have a little bit of options, right? And yeah, I like that a lot of my protection is also putting a 1/1 counter on it. It's just been really, really fun to play. I've only done some spell table games with it when I was sick, but it's been just a delight, I think.
How fast?
It goes pretty quick. It goes. Being able to trigger the commander.
This could definitely be up there for a CDH commander, because I feel like with its cheap CMC that it could go burr.
If you were to build it just a raw stacks deck to like stop people, possibly, because it makes a lot of things, and you are in good stacksing people out colors, right? But I don't know if it's definitely like even at this budget version, it is pretty high power with how fast those tokens come out. They get pretty wild.
I'm just thinking like if you added in like the Mana Vault, Mana Crypts, all of that other stuff, like you could probably get this like online. Like I would say like turn 2.
The problem is like trying to CEDH this, right? This is if this is my card, then people just counter this card, and it's just not.
That's true.
Yeah, it's not in colors that can interact, and it's not like it's not broken like Zerda where it hits the table and I can make infinite mana with something, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but it does, like I said, it's surprising how fast these tokens come out. I think if you play a deck like this, you're gonna find yourself wanting to hold back on attacking with all of the previously created gnomes and only attack with the ones you're making, because you just get a lot, right? Like it just it ramps up so fast, and the ability to just get 1/1 like it's the 1/1 counters on it ability triggering just so frequently is crazy. They should have worded this. I usually am like, oh, I don't like that they put activate as a source. Like they should have worded this one way differently. This is brutal. It's so good in like a deck like an Ishin too, right? Where you're doubling attack triggers. If you have anything like a Strionic Resonator or any of those cards as well, it's rough.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a big ability, and it does for sure get out of hand if you have like the new Tripler, Mondrak, Anointed Procession, any of those. It's crazy, yeah.
I'm really looking forward to seeing this deck play, actually.
It's really, really fun. I like a good Boros aggression. I'm a simple man.
Yeah, that's your favorite kind of guild, isn't it?
I do like Boros as a guild, yeah. Just like I said, it's Boros is generally pretty simple magic. It's pretty, like, I think there's a lot of triggers in this one, so maybe not how this one's specifically built, but you can make an Anim deck for like a new player pretty easily where it's just swinging and making gnomes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are my thoughts.
I don't like how much how many combats there are.
Yeah, there's a lot of combats. Pretty rough.
I feel like that's just gonna hurt.
Yeah. But
it's
no,
like someone telling me to meet them by the flagpole at 3 p.m., but then they just decide, you know what, I'm not gonna wait that long.
What's your interaction? Hands and gnomes. Shut the jaw.
Or is it hands in gnome?
Yeah, true.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's gnome. No, it's I just really, really like this deck. I thought this was such a fun one. Yeah, I'll wrap it there. I could talk about this all day. This is the right button this time. Thank you everyone for getting to the end of the episode. Let me know what you have put in. Obviously, like I said, the anointed, all those things are going to be great, but I love to hear other good suggestions. So let us know on YouTube. Let us know even on Spotify. Great spot to leave it. Leave a 5-star review, or you leave a comment. It'd be pretty great too. If you want to come interact with us a little bit more on Patreon, great spot. We talk. Oh, by the way, Thunder also said the Together Forever is his staple, and that's a great card too. But in come chat with us and everything. We like to build a lot of decks. Great spot to chat, great patrons and everything. So thank you everyone who supports us. If you don't feel like coming on Patreon, like, share, subscribe. That also supports us in a great way. Check out the new videos. There's a 2-hour one of me skipping my turns coming out pretty soon. That one's pretty fun. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got. All our content's at Into the 99. Great articles go up all the time. All of our content's there. And our new merch is pretty great. It's pretty good. I've got some of that on order, so it should be fun.
7.
Yeah.
Oh, also, if you don't want to sign up on Patreon, check out YouTube.
Oh yeah, come a member on YouTube.
Yeah.
Come leave funny comments like verbally abusing Brian. That was hilarious. Thought that was too good.
Simon, you made Daniel's day. He sent it to us, and he was so happy.
I had a good laugh at that. And yeah, with that, we shall bye-bye.
Later.
See ya.
Peace, guys.